Hola, ¿cómo está? Me llamo Tony Gaglione.
Me llamo es Shawn Adams.
It's Smack Talk.
Smacktalk, live from the World Cup. Okay, that's enough of that.
Mexico played Brazil today, obviously. That's why
Yeah,
we're
but we'll
talking
go
like
into that in a second because that's a whole different story. First things first, the opening game. Belgium versus Algeria. Me and Tony both picked Belgium to win. They did win, however, not the way was expected. And there are some players on Algeria.
Surprising.
Surprising. Chadili, Bentaleb, a few Tottenham players, Ferragouli.
You know what's...
some three guys.
I'm going to get right into the first stat real quick. 16 shots for Belgium, 3 for Algeria. 10 shots on goal for Belgium, 1 on goal for Algeria, which was a goal.
No, the goal was a penalty. That doesn't count as a shot on goal.
That doesn't count as a shot on goal?
No, that was Ferragouli's first touch on the ball.
Well, I'm just a moron then.
It's produced to save. But yes,
it's amazing that a penalty shot, considering it's on goal,
no, but it
doesn't count as a shot on goal.
It's a penalty because it's not. It's a stoppage of play.
It's a dumb rule.
No surprise here. Fouls 21-18, still kind of even. Although Tony's conspiracy kind of went out the window in the second game. Just so you know, Ferragouli had scored a 25th minute penalty on a horrible Jans Vertonghen yellow card.
Jans Vertonghen.
Yeah, this Belgium team is littered with good talent. Vincent Kompany,
not a whole lot of team play.
They're young too, so they've never been in a World Cup before, and here they are. And they had 65% possession, but they fell behind early, and Mario and Fellaini comes on as a sub. By the way, substitutes have scored 20%, over 20% of the goals in this World Cup so far. There have been 49 goals, 10 of them are substitutes.
Say Tony called the Fellaini goal. Yes, it did.
Well, it's okay because
I just want to get excited because it's like the first thing I've called in this tournament. That was right.
And it was a hazard assist on that Fellaini header. So they level it in the 70th minute, and then Dries Mertens with the winner.
Lovely.
Another one of their. No, I called Kevin Morales. Mertens came in for Kevin Morales.
Oh, Mertens was a sub?
Mertens was a sub, yeah. That's 2 of the goals. Corners, Belgium had 7 corners, and I'm surprised they didn't put one in earlier than that.
Yeah, with the players that they got.
Vermaelen, Company, guys that can head the ball, Fellaini. They didn't do it. Algeria had 2. Like I said, 65-35% possession. They both had 1 yellow card, and Belgium was offside 3 times. Algeria was not offside at all. Hence, they didn't have the ball very much.
Yeah, I was going to say, with 35% possession, I mean,
they didn't have the ball much. They only had 3 shots. Only one of them was on target. And Ferragouli is their only striker. That's who I said yesterday that's the guy that scored against the United States 4 years ago, Ferragouli.
Nah, and then Donovan took the winner.
Donovan took the winner, yeah. Took the draw.
The draw, which ended up being a winner for the U.S. because they advanced through it.
Yeah, so... that was it for the early game. Belgium, you could call it squeak by. So they say a comeback victory, but when you have that much possession and you fall down, I guess you could really just say it's squeaking by because it's different if you fall behind and you don't have the ball and you produce something in the second half. But when you get 2 second half goals against a team you should beat, I'm gonna call it squeaking by. Like I said, Hazard had an assist, Fellaini had a goal. So Belgium 3 points, and the late game, which I just got done finished watching, was Russia versus South Korea. A very awesome soccer game.
Was it? Didn't see it. Listen to it on the radio.
It was open. The first half, first 25 minutes, both teams kind of felt each other out. Korea didn't really get going much. Once Russia started getting going, then Korea got going, and they produced quite a few Affinkiv, as they say it on the thing. We call him Affinkiv. That's how we say it. He had a case of the chest all game long.
The greatest goaltender in the world?
The greatest goaltender in the world. No, literally.
I love how the case of the Chesneys is bobbling the ball and giving up fat rebounds.
Rebounds. Well, there was 3 times.
Yeah, Wojciech Szczesny is
the greatest goalie
in the world.
That's right.
Okay.
So
Just wanted to
the
state that.
Chesney's, it's like when you block a shot, but so it's different when you block it Guillermo Ochoa style and it goes away. It's different when you block it and it rebounds right in front of you or to a defender or to an attacker.
Push it down.
Yeah, so that happened quite a few times, except the first few times he recovered. Then in the 68th minute on a counterattack, Lee Kun-ho just said, hey, it's one of those things. The goalie's been bouncing shots, so he fires a long-distance shot. Avakineev,
Crash the net.
I'm going to show. No, crash the net. I'm just going to show you firsthand. I'm going to grab this soccer ball, and I'm going to show you what happens. Avakineev puts his hands up, just like this. The ball hits his hands and goes in the goal.
Really?
Yeah, he brought his hands down, like the block and catch. Except when he brought his hands down, he put backspin on the ball, and then went over his head. He tried to and he almost had it on the second attempt, but by that time it was over the goal. So then Russia's down 1-0 to South Korea.
Then they decide that they want to bring in their good players.
Yeah, and then Fabio Capello brings in the players that should have started, and I'll name them Alan Zagadev. And they said he doesn't get along with Fabio Capello because he has a temper, but he's a 24-year-old kid. This kid is awesome at Euros.
Wait a second. This guy used to coach England too, right?
Yeah, he coached England last World Cup.
I mean, there are players on England that didn't get along with him also.
Yeah, but
from what I remember,
that's the way he is, though. He's a
so
dictator.
Maybe it's not the players, maybe it's him.
He's a Louis Van Gaal.
Hey,
no, that's the style, and it's not a bad thing.
Leave my coach
he's okay. Louis Van Gaal and Fabio Capello are 2 steps away from being the fascist Sunderland Di Canio. Okay,
don't say that.
No. That's the spectrum. Di Canio is the far part of the spectrum. No ketchup, no carbonated sodas. Then there's the Louis Van Gaals and Fabio Capellos, the guys that aren't player coaches that want it done away. And Russia's used to that, but apparently Zagadev, he's a young kid, so he's kind of got a temper, Mm-hmm. But at Euros, you remember at Euros, this kid was awesome.
They played well.
So he came in. Their old guard, Kurzakov and Denisov were also subs, and the only good player that I recognized, I mean, besides Afkanev because he's their goalie, the only good player that I recognized as being on the team to start with was Zuri Yurkov.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so he started, but he was subbed out for Denisov. Okay, so they went from so it's at a 4-4-3-1, right, or 4-2-3-1 as their formation, but they kind of went from Zurkov being outside to going to the conventional midfield, not a diamond, but the conventional 4-4-2 by putting Kurzakov in the middle, Denisov on the outside. So once that happened, immediately Kurzakov taps in a rebound. A Zagadev, fine move from Zagadev. He linked up with Samadov. Samadov played, so he was the other person on the wing. They linked up. I can't remember who shot it, but it was a shot on goal. The goalie rebounded it. It fell to Kurzakov. He shot it. It was blocked. And when it got blocked, somebody else tried to shoot it, and it was blocked again. This time it bounced, and Kurzakov's already right there in front of goal, like from here to the screen. And it bounced off his chest. South Korea was asking for a handball, but it literally bounces off his chest, falls to his feet. Goalie's already on the ground. He slides it in right there. They tie it, and then the game got really open, where both teams. I mean, Russia was looking for a winner. They had some great chances. So did South Korea. It just seemed like who was going to take the game. Unfortunately, nobody took the game. Some stats: Russia had 17 shots, 5 on target. South Korea had 10 shots, 5 on target. So they were both on target equally. Russia had some more shots. A lot of those came from set pieces. The South Korea goalie did great punching out balls on crosses into the box, which South Korea is always giving up set pieces.
Yep. Fouls were 15-7. 7 for Korea, 15 for Russia.
Now, the 15 for Russia were... Our friend Eric commented on his Facebook, they were not fouls. They were Korea players getting nicked.
Yeah, pulling a Ghana.
This is kind of like pulling a Brazil, like just falling over. I mean, some weak sauce. Korea did get 3 yellow cards for their fouls they committed. Mm-hmm. One of them was just a outright step on the back behind the attacker, step on his back foot as he's breaking away. Mm-hmm. Ref didn't like that too much, immediately pulled out the yellow. That guy committed another foul and was warned by the ref, told him that was twice, and almost gave him a red card for that. So that would have changed the game. But my biggest thing was the possession was even. It says 51-49, but it was really 50-50 because they both did well keeping the ball. It was a really subtle game at first, and then they'd move forward, then they'd back it out and they'd probe. So both of them had similar styles. My
Both of
problem
them,
is,
both of them had 4 corners too, so it
yeah,
looks
four
like it
corners.
was pretty even game all around.
Yeah, like I said, it was a very entertaining game. I have a problem with the lineup Russia fielded. I do feel that South Korea is very dangerous in possession because they have I don't want to say Spain, but they have the Spain-esque type of probing. Push it close, drop it back out, switch sides, push it close, drop it back out. And they're not going to the wings much. They do, but they're doing the penetrate to the midfield, kick it back out, and they're waiting for you to shift or a player to be out of position to open up shots.
They're patient.
Mm-hmm.
They're patient with the ball, and they look for the right opening at the right time. In the group,
in the group, yeah.
Belgium has 3 points. They're at a +1 goal diff. South Korea and Russia both have 1 point with a 0 goal diff. Obviously, they drew each other. And Algeria 0 points, -1. They lost to Belgium.
The next games, Russia versus Belgium is the next matchup for round 2 because now that's it for round 1. All the round 1 games have played.
Yeah.
Okay. So Belgium versus Russia. Russia is 2 wins, 2 draws, and 0 losses all time against Belgium.
I'm going to call a Russia win just now because of the way that Belgium played against Algeria today. I think that maybe you were right in the lineup in Russia, and maybe they do some tinkering there, and they put in the better players to start the game rather than waiting until the 70th, 60th minute to sub them in, or halftime for that matter.
Yeah, Zagadov looked really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, get the guys in and get a lead instead of chasing the game. You know what I'm saying? So I think Russia will beat Belgium.
Russia has scored first in 23 of their 37 World Cup games.
That's not bad.
They are 20-3. No losses when scoring first.
That's pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, I got South Korea beating Algeria, even though Algeria showed a little bit of promise.
Yeah, here's the thing. Russia, South Korea, if they both win, if Russia does manage a win against Belgium, and they both go up with 4 points, that gives Belgium the edge because Belgium will play a South Korean team who's didn't look good or is not notoriously not good at set pieces, and Russia kind of will have the pressure because Algeria, they're not going to be playing for anything if they lose this game to South Korea, and I don't know, the second round in that group is going to be very interesting in my opinion because right now the way the standings are, it can shake out 5 different ways. Algeria gets a win against South Korea, it throws that whole group into chaos.
Oh yeah.
Without
a doubt. Our second round
game, the noon game,
was Mexico and Brazil. It's Brazil and Mexico's second game. Mexico beat Cameroon in their first game, and Brazil beat Croatia in their first game opening day. We talked about that one. In this game, there were so many chances, so many great shots, and no goals. It was a 0-0 draw. I have to say, Ochoa looks like the best goaltender in the world right now.
Wasn't even on our list.
Ridiculous.
I seen a meme today that said, "Hey baby," she says, "Babe, did you bring a condom?" He says, "No, I brought something better," and it's a picture of a condom packet with Ochoa's face on it. I thought that was
protection.
That's protection. If you guys don't know, in the 26th minute, you'll probably see this on SportsCenter, probably top play.
Without a doubt.
26th minute, a great header from Neymar, great bullet header, and Ochoa literally scoops his hand. Literally, the closest you can get the ball with goal line tech, with it not being a goal, and swats it away. I mean, the ball is literally 3/4 of the way over the line.
Yeah.
And his hand's behind it, swats it out. Because of the goal line tech, no goal. I don't think the goal line tech would have mattered because even the assistant, in the old school when they used to call it, there's no way they would have called that a goal because it literally happened so fast.
Yeah.
There's no way a assistant would have seen it go in and then back out.
Sure.
So fast. But Ochoa,
and in the second half, dude, Neymar had a great set piece from 24 yards away.
Yeah.
And Ochoa with the diving stop on that one, it would have went in the top corner, no doubt.
3 straight shots on goal. And Ochoa produced 3 fine saves in a row.
Ridiculous.
He finished with 6 saves.
This is the only game that I saw anything on.
6 saves. The most for Mexico in a World Cup since 1966. Joseph Corona has basically turned into your backup QB. He is now putting on a headset. He's carrying a clipboard. He's talking to Ochoa after the game about the next team they're playing and stuff to look for. Because Ochoa, in 2 straight games, has solidified his position as Mexico's #1 goalie.
Ochoa and that afro have just pulled a Colin Kaepernick, and
You
now
talk about
Alex Smith
side-
is on the back
Yeah,
bench.
you talk about sideshow Bob, man. That dude looks like sideshow
It's
Bob.
the hair, man. I have to
literally-
say, it's like a parachute. So when he
Yeah.
floats through the air, it just kind of carries him a little further.
Another headline for the game: Chicharito again started on the bench.
Stupid.
Started on the bench.
Stupid. Another stupid move, in my opinion, was taking out Giovanni Dos Santos in the second half.
Yeah.
Why do that? I know they brought in Herrera or somebody for Dos Santos. He's a quality
He
player.
produced a great
Plays
shot.
for America.
Yeah, but he produced a great shot in that game.
Plays for Club America, though. So I have to say there's a lot of favoritism going on here.
Yeah.
Chicharito
hey-
not starting, I understand, but you have to get this guy some playing time if he's going to do anything. They start him because he doesn't have playing time, and what does not giving him playing time do? Nothing.
I don't know.
You have to get him in the game.
Hey.
He has to be in the game.
Mexico with 4 points, sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty, but they're going to come up against a lot better people than who they've played. Brazil, I know that they're the favorite because they're the home team, but they do not look like the best
Brazil
team.
was offside 5 times. No surprise there. 53% possession for Brazil, 47% for Mexico.
Do you
Although
think
I would
Brazil
call
looks
it-
like the best team in the tournament?
I think Brazil looked exactly like I thought they would against Mexico.
They are who we thought they
Docile.
were.
Docile. They look timid. They look beatable. They look like they're playing with pressure on their shoulders. Because here comes a Mexico team, like I had said, and you disagree with me,
I
that
do.
said look dangerous.
I
They
did.
look dangerous. They came into the tournament with all these questions, and I said in the first game that the coach was going to tell them, hey, that's be gone.
Look,
Let's start out. And they started out great.
You were correct. I thought they were going to play flat. They did not play flat. They looked awesome. Julio Cesar made a couple great saves.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this game could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? Mexico could have won 2-0.
Yeah.
So, with Ochoa in goal
Again,
and the way
Chicharito
that they're
with a
playing right
late
now,
chance.
Yeah.
Late chance, and he whiffs it again.
he's got to play. He's got to play the whole game.
He's got to sit on
You
the
can't
bench,
get him
right?
5 minutes and
He's
expect
no,
him to
here's what
score a
I'm saying.
goal.
Here's what I'm saying. He's either on the bench the whole game
Or he
or
starts.
and gets subbed out if you need him to.
Yeah, fine, but he's got to get minutes in
Another
order.
player.
It's like baseball. How can you expect a pinch hitter to produce at the plate if he doesn't get at bats?
Another player who I felt probably when they took off Dos Santos, I felt like Oribe Peralta should have been subbed off. Although he did good in the Cameroon game, he was more non-existent up front. He did great in holding up the ball, but more non-existent up front for Mexico than in the last game. I felt Giovanni Santos was more active, and maybe that's why he was subbed. Maybe he was more tired, and Peralta.
It could be, but as far as I'm concerned, Giovanni Dos Santos was making the most moves in the middle of the field and creating scoring chances more than anybody else on Mexico. So you got to keep that guy in.
Another thing too, I wonder, and I'm not the coach, but I wonder if the reason for that is when you put Chicharito in, instead of playing the 4-4-2 with 2 strikers, I wonder if
Playing
they go
one
back
striker now.
I think if they go to the 4-4-1-1 and put Peralta kind of floating above Chicharito,
Like a center attack.
yeah, you know what I mean, where you put the one striker and you got another guy to drop deep and feed service. So I don't know. I don't know. But I do feel that Mexico is a dangerous team. Now that leads us to tomorrow's games because there's a very interesting game tomorrow at 3 p.m., the late game. But we're going to talk about the earlier games. First things first, Australia, Netherlands, 9 a.m. Netherlands has a chance to seize control of the group, which I predict they will.
Went on a limb with that
if-
one, didn't you?
If Spain gets beat 5-1, I'm going to stick with it. 9 goals for Netherlands.
I don't think so. I think Casillas really screwed the pooch on that Spain game.
No Tim Cahill for Australia.
Dude, there's no way Australia even scores a goal. I'm gonna say 4-0.
I'm going 9-0.
Wow, 4-0. I say
Humiliation.
RVP's got 2. I say Wesley Sneijder and Aaron Robin have 1 each.
Speaking of Aaron Robin, officially the
yeah.
fastest player in the world. Takes the title from Theo Walcott, who was previously clocked at 35.9 kilometers per hour. For those of you that believe in the imperialistic system, that's about 22.3 miles per hour. Aaron Robin's personal best had been 30.3 kilometers per hour, which is about 19 miles an hour. Well, in that run, that breakaway goal, he was clocked at 37 kilometers per hour, which is pretty much 20 93 miles an hour sprinting down the field. Sergio Ramos was clocked at 16. Mathematics says Aaron Rodgers getting to that ball no matter what.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And it was only Ramos's positioning that makes that look close. Because if Ramos had squeezed up a little closer, that would have looked really bad.
I think it's safe to say the adrenaline was pumping there.
Yeah.
Australia, they're not going to score goals. What do you got at 9-0? I got it at 4-0.
The next game,
Yeah.
This is a potential. Okay, there's a term they use in soccer. It's called a six-pointer. They use it in relegations or first place battles because a win for one team takes away 3 points for another.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna use a six-pointer in this because Chile won their first game.
Mhm.
Okay. Spain did not. Spain got beat by the Netherlands.
Mhm.
Okay. So if Chile wins this game, they're eliminating Spain.
Without a doubt.
Because I'm assuming I'm taking
No, you got
the
6 and
Netherlands.
6.
Yeah, I'm looking at Netherlands with an automatic
It's
victory.
a 6 and 6.
Right? So they'd eliminate Spain. If Spain wins, they're 3-3 with Chile.
It just depends on what the goal diff is now.
And what did I say? The team that beats Australia the most.
And Spain has a great chance of kicking the crap out of that team.
Yep.
So,
and I tell you, if Spain wins that game, and they go into the Australia game, you ain't going to see possession football from Spain. You're going to see domination.
We're going to see exactly what we saw in Confederations Cup against Tahiti, where they put up 9.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Demolish them.
It's going to be bad.
That's why I call it a six-pointer. Now here's the thing: a draw puts Chile in a world of safety.
Yeah, because now
Spain has to win and overcome the goal diff.
Yes.
Against Australia.
Yes.
Which against Australia with that -4 goal diff,
and all Chile would need against Netherlands is one
goal.
Point.
They just need 1 goal.
1 point.
No, they don't even need a point. They can lose, get 1 goal. That now brings Spain, because remember, they're +1.
Chile's Spain is -4.
-4, so that's a 5 goal diff.
No,
you got it. You got it. They get 1.
That's huge.
That's a 6 goal diff. That means Spain have to win 7-0.
That's terrible. Well, we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's a big day.
Big day.
As far as second round games go.
Now, the late game, the interesting game, and I'm calling this interesting because it's very odd that you see a double team elimination in the second round of the World Cup. Now, this happens with the Iran-Nigerias, okay? What I'm trying to think of, last World Cup, the South Africas, you get the minnows, right? It happens. But with a team like Croatia, it's rare. Now, here's the thing. Because Mexico and Brazil both have 4 points, Cameroon, Croatia both have 0. Croatia or Cameroon, it doesn't matter which team, they both need 3 points.
Yeah, 1 point is not going to do them any good.
A draw keeps them mathematically in it.
But what does that mean?
But then again, the goal diff. Mexico's +1, Croatia's -2. That's 3 goals. Mexico plays Croatia.
Exactly.
They could give up 2 goals and park the bus.
Mathematically in it does not mean safe. Mathematically in it means...
That's why I said...
Damn, it's a long shot.
The draw for Mexico, when I said this yesterday, I predicted a 2-0 Brazil win, but I said a draw for Mexico is not a bad result because of
any time that anybody plays Brazil or Germany or Netherlands and get a point, that's not a bad thing.
What I'm saying is because of the position they put themselves in.
Sure, after winning the first game, it was great. 4 points. They're sitting pretty right now.
So now, here's the thing. Cameroon, no Samuel Eto'o for the rest of the World Cup potentially.
What happened?
I just read no Samuel Eto'o for Cameroon. He apparently picked up an injury, and he may not play for the rest of the World Cup. They're not, these African nations, they don't release the injury information like other nations do because they see it as conceding. They see it as conceding.
No, it's like hockey. When someone gets a wrist injury, they call it an upper body injury.
Yeah, so, but it's a potential elimination game for both teams. Now, a draw. I'm just going to let this play out. Let's say we get a draw. It doesn't matter the score, it's a draw. Croatia, Cameroon's a draw, right? Mexico plays Croatia with a 3-goal diff advantage. That goal diff becomes huge when they play Croatia. Now, if Croatia loses, they're automatically out. Now, Cameroon can celebrate if they got 3 points, right? They play Brazil. So it's not a big celebration. Now, however, if Croatia wins, it puts a lot on that Mexico-Croatia game.
Oh yeah, because that'll be the last game in the third round of the group.
Round, and if
and
Croatia
the winner
wins,
takes all.
And if Croatia wins, that means they're taking off their goal diff. So if they win 2-0, they're back at 0. If they win 1-0 or whatever, a 1-goal margin, they've knocked it down. So not only Croatia would be sitting at 3, Mexico at 4, but it also puts pressure on Brazil. Because if Cameroon goes into that game against Brazil with 0 points, and Brazil, Cameroon, Mexico, and Croatia are all there ready to qualify, Cameroon beats Brazil.
They just want to play spoiler at that point to the home team of the World Cup at that point.
Team of the World Cup.
So that's huge.
Another big thing, and this is why I say this is interesting. Let's say Croatia goes out and unleashes the wrath of God on Cameroon, inflates their goal diff. We're not talking a big score, but maybe
3-0.
No, yeah, a +1 goal diff after the game, right?
Yeah.
Now guess what? Cameroon can play Brazil for a draw because it's possible that Croatia and Mexico also draw,
and Brazil goes in third.
Well,
I see it.
It makes Brazil sweat out that result.
It's very unlikely that Brazil loses to.
I'm just saying
to Cameroon.
But if Croatia wins, it makes the third round wide open in this group.
So let's talk about what your prediction is for the game, or I'll just go ahead and say mine.
Okay, well let's go Spain-Chile first. Before we go to that game, Spain-Chile, what's your prediction?
4-1 Spain.
4-1 Spain. I'm going to say 3-2 Chile. Spain's eliminated.
What?
Spain's crashing out.
What?
I'm saying
okay.
3-2.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be tomorrow, so you'll hear about tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening, yeah.
Croatia and Cameroon. I got Croatia on a 2-1 victory.
I'm going.
No Eto'o is the only reason that I take Croatia.
I'm going with a 0-0 draw.
A 0-0 draw, yeah.
Wait a minute. Mario Mandzukic plays 1-0 victory for Croatia.
Yeah. Mr. Strength.
Mr. Strength.
We're going to talk about real quick before we get out of here the odds here in Las Vegas for these teams to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Germany's 4-1. Not, that's not bad odds. Spain is 13-1, which is huge for the defending champs. Our own United States of good old America is 50-1. So if you want to make some money on a long shot, that would probably be it.
Huh.
The Netherlands are 9-1.
That's my long shot.
That's crazy right there to me.
That's my long shot right
there. They should be 3-2 at this point.
I'm taking
with a whooping on the defending champs.
9-1, $100 will pay you 1,000. Your 100 back plus 900.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Argentina's 5-1. I think the Netherlands have a better chance than Argentina. However, Argentina is a great team. They met in the finals. Or was it the semis? Semifinals. And Brazil's plus 270, which is basically 2.7 to 1.
Yeah, it's almost 3-1. Yeah, Brazil's the home team. But here's what I'm gonna say: out of those teams you just named, I'm gonna call it right now. None of those teams are in the final.
I say the Netherlands win the whole damn thing.
I'm gonna tell you France is in the final right now.
Well, I can say that you're probably right on that.
Tomorrow, I want the odds for France to win the World Cup.
Okay, I'll get you the odds tomorrow, but Netherlands are my team.
I'm telling you,
Holland and RVP, baby,
it's gonna
win the whole thing.
I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be Italy, France, a rematch
Don't
of 2006.
say that. That sucks.
Italy,
that's
France,
a boring game. Italy just passing the ball around, doing.
I'm not even doing my homework because if I did my homework, I'd be able to look at the bracket and whose groups go where, and I'd be able to tell who plays who. So right now, I'm just calling that out. But I think France is in the final.
Okay, well, I'm calling Netherlands to win the whole thing.
Okay.
Are you calling France to win the whole thing?
I'm calling France. I'm
going
All right, France.
We got it. We'll see what happens.
Go on, Russia. No.
Yeah. One last thing. Since the World Cup in 2018 is in Russia, do you think Russia makes any noise whatsoever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, check this out. South Korea, 2002. South Korea beat Brazil and Italy on their way to the semis versus Germany.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, by the way, no Lee Dong-gook.
I noticed that. I was like, wait a second. I was looking at the roster. I was looking at everything.
Favorite player.
Is he injured or just not on the roster?
It's not on the roster.
That sucks.
This World Cup is got 2 titles. Youth and injuries.
And bad refs.
Well, the bad refs is every year. But every time. But yeah. It seems like teams have gone with youth. Ghana is the youngest team in the tournament. Yeah, teams. Donovan's not on the roster. Nasri's not on the roster. It seems like teams are just saying, "Hey, we're gonna give our young guys." It's like guys are saying, "Hey, we're getting ready for 2018. We're gonna give these young dudes some experience, so that way 2018 is a really good tournament."
Well, I hope it is.
I hope so too, because I'm gonna be there in Russia. I'm
Thanks
Shawn Adams.
I'm Tony Gaglione. Stay tuned tomorrow for World Cup Day 7.
Yeah, we'll go over that Cameroon-Croatia game.
And the Spain whooping of Chile.
Oh.
Watch the bounce.